Just how far do these skies stretch? And what could be waiting for us on the other side? Back when we first asked those questions, we had no idea where the wind would carry us. But now, we're ready to soar, onward across the great blue skies to that fabled island. We each have powers hidden deep inside, powers that we'll use to stand against fate. Some battles we won't be able to avoid. We've seen how hard it is to run from conflict. But we've got a promise to keep, so we won't give up now or ever. Throughout our adventure, we've made so many friends. Bonds we share have given us strength to overcome the darkest times. If evil should ever try to take over the sky, then we'll be there to protect it, to provide hope for the future. Oh, child of darkness and flames, grant us a path forward, past the grand blue beyond.
Hello and welcome to the Shadowverse TeamTacular. I'm back. This is Sterling with Exodium. We have got a great show planned for you today. We've got giveaways, we've got card reveals, and today is mainly about the new mini expansion.
That's right. 18 cards that got released not too long ago. We're going to see them in full force today with a lineup that we're going to share with you in just a little bit here. And I don't believe you're Arthur.
No, you are correct. You are correct.
You don't look like Arthur.
No, I mean the last thing I remember, I was at MomoCon in 2017. I just blacked out for some reason. Woke up last night and was, oh wow, I gotta go back into the show.
Okay.
Yeah. I have no idea.
What did you do with him?
With Arthur?
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
Part of the blackout story?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, no one really knows.
All right, but anyway, guys, like you said, we have a fun show today. Aya Senpai is going to be in chat all day doing giveaways. We have a list of things that we know when they happen. We're going to be giving you guys packs, so stay tuned for that, of course, and make sure you don't give him too much of a headache because, you know, he's out there trying to help you guys out, so have some fun with him.
So what is today all about? Today we've got teams set up, led by Zero Fine and Crumsion, the lead points earners for the PAM and your region. Here are the teams. On Team Crumsion, there's the Jor Dude, Failbait, Baka Baka, and Prep Coin. And on Team Zero Fine, we have Cure Mango, Wonder Melodies, Pot Washer, and Saria Heart. So now, the way that this is set up is we're going to play match 1. It's a best of 1, just one game. Match 1, match 2, match 3, match 4, followed by the finals. Now, what makes this interesting is that each player has been assigned a unique class, one of the 8 classes, and they must build the deck with 3 copies of the new legendary card from the mini expansion. And they will battle in a best of 1 format to help their team captain in the final round. Now, with each victory that a team makes, they earn 10,000 vials for their team captain to use in their final deck in the final game.
That's right. So the team captains start with 20,000 vials. They're gated. And every time one of their team members wins a match, that gate goes up by another 10,000 vials, all the way to a maximum of 60,000 vials for the last match. So the all-important match is the team captain match. Everything else we're doing for fun, of course, all that kind of good stuff, but the last match is going to be the decider. What decks did they decide to bring with each vial cap, and then who's going to take it home?
Right. So this is just an example on the format. This is not the matches have yet to be played.
Yeah.
So as you can see, with 3 wins, you get 30,000 extra vials, 50,000 vials total. With 1 win, you only get 30,000 vials. So the team captains are entirely reliant upon their team members to help them get a bigger deck and to help them win, to take home this sweet, sweet prize. We're not giving away money.
No money today.
Nothing ethereal, nothing useless such as money.
Yeah.
No, we are giving away this priceless artifact of the Yuan Portal Leader sleep mask.
Yeah, you remember. This is the one that I fell asleep to a couple episodes ago. It's very high quality, very nice, and it's the double facing one. You've got the energized Yuan, and you've got the regular Yuan.
Yuan in resonance. And
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. But of course, that's not all we're doing today, guys. We're also revealing or teasing some new cards from the new expansion. Of course, you guys just saw the video. We'll be taking a look at that a little bit later as well. And yeah, it's just going to be a regular fun day today. We're going to have some fun. We're going to do interviews with all the players. If it wasn't mentioned earlier, all of the players are playing each of the unique classes. As you saw, we have 8 community members. Each one of them have a class that they've selected or were given, depending, and then they will use 3 legendaries from that class, from the mini expansion, to build their deck around.
Right. So, Exo, to start us off, from the mini expansion, you and I have been playing it a bit.
Yes.
Which card are you most excited about? Do you get just revved up about?
Yeah. So actually, it's one that we're going to see in the first matchup that the Jordude's going to be playing. Is Green Glen Axeman. I thought it was going to be Feline from Dragoncraft.
Okay.
But after playing with some of the new expansion cards, things like that, Green Glen Axeman just. That's all I can say about it. You know what I mean?
Bon appetit.
Yeah, it's so great. So it allowed mid-forest, which was one of the better crafts and one of the better decks in competitive play. It kind of just helped it bridge that gap. We were always like, are they going to draw enough Jungle Wardens to finish the game? Are they going to get enough chip damage in before their first Jungle Warden? Yada, yada. Green Glen Axeman showed up to the party, and he's just like, you'll get the damage in, don't worry. And then, honestly speaking, I see a lot of the games end by turn 10 now with the Jungle Warden after Green Glen, on turn 7 with a few, extra plays before turn 10. Specifically with the interaction between Venus and Green Glen Axeman, where you get to draw the extra cards, get to keep spiking damage, and the flow just keeps going until you get to that Jungle Warden and then just end the game.
Interesting. See, I really like the Electromagical Rhino, the new legendary in Portalcraft. Portalcraft is still so new to me. It still has, like, there's so much more to explore, and like that's how I view it right now. And I think the Rhino is so nice because it kind of takes the place of Saphira as that final, the final push that you make to end the game. And it doesn't have Storm, it has Rush, but it's a 7-cost 0/7 follower, and it gains X amount of attack for how many artifacts are in your deck. So you start the deck is very similar to just artifact.
Yeah,
portal.
I do that all the time.
Yeah,
Articraft.
Articraft portal. Yeah, you fill your deck with artifacts, and then on turn 7 you play the Rhino. Hopefully you have Deus Ex activated, and you're able to get a 10/7 ramps up to 15/7 because each time the Rhino attacks, it has Rush. Each time it attacks, it puts 3 copies of this artifact Rhino into your deck.
Right.
Which just ramps up the attack.
And we learned after playing a few games, always attack with the one in play before you play the one.
Before you play
hand.
the other one. That's right. So there's already one in play. Yeah. So there's lots of new mechanics and new things to keep in mind.
Absolutely. And the funny thing about it was when we were playing matches of the new expansion, I was playing Tenko Shrine Haven, which I'm sure you guys have all seen if you've been playing on the ladder. It's a super fun new deck with some of the new gold cards, or the new gold card from the mini expansion. I was playing against him in his Electromagical Rhino deck, and I was just like, how do I deal with this 21-5 that just took out my follower? Well,
yeah,
all right.
It's an answer to a lot of tempo strategies like Frenzy Drake and Lindworm that you just like, just summon that Rush. I've got 2 more in my hand. I've got 7 more in the deck. And let's go.
It provides a threat every single turn that if you don't remove it, can just end the game by itself. So you just always have to be wary of it. So super fun. The mini expansion brought with it so many new things, and that's part of the fun of today, if not most of the fun today, is we get to see how not just community members but the most competitive players in the environment right now are taking those 3 cards that they've been given, the 3 legendary cards, building decks around them, and seeing where their head's at with the whole thing.
And I'm excited to see where Zero Fine and Crumjin take this new expansion, this new mini expansion into the, and we've got them on the line here.
Why don't we ask them? Yeah, what's going on,
Zero
guys?
Fine, Crumjin, how's it going? Zero Fine, thank you for coming out. Really great to have you here. Nice haircut, by the way.
Yeah.
Crumjin, nice to see you.
Hey, everyone.
Awesome. Zero Fine,
doing
really good. Zero Fine, just right out of the gate, we want to ask you, do you have any initial thoughts about the new mini expansion? How is it working for you? How's it feeling for you?
To be honest, the impact of the cards that came out caught me a bit off guard. I didn't expect it to have such a huge impact. I really like the fact that the crafts were not in the scene, like Shadow and Dragon came back. Then we saw other classes like Portal falling down, Blood rising to the top.
Rising to the
It's
top.
really interesting. I want to figure out
Interesting.
what's more to come.
Yeah, the metagame is shifting, absolutely. And Crumzian, what are you feeling? What have you and your team been talking about with the new mini expansion? What are the cards you're most excited about, the decks that you've been trying out that you like the best?
Well, with the new expansion, Dragon is top tier, so that's like really interesting. PDK and Bow for MJag are top. And then Vengeance Blood came back, like Zerify said, so Blood's good again. So also we saw Portal fall down a little bit. Because it's pretty weak against PDK. Matchup is not that great. But Sword is still really good. Ginger is still not bad. I think it fell down a little bit, but I'm excited to see the new popularity of Dragon.
Yeah, there's a new middle ground. So Zerofine, I've got to ask you this because I know you've been a big proponent of Artifact Portal for a long time. What besides, or is it just PDK Dragon, what about the format has changed that made Portalcraft just not feel as good as it used to?
I think Forest that became even more powerful. Sword fell down a bit, and Portal was the greatest opponent of Swordcraft. Ginger fell down a bit.
So basically, the best,
overall,
the best decks that it played
the
against.
best matchups. The best matchups against Portal fell. Therefore, Portal fell with them.
That makes sense.
Now, Crumzian, thinking about today, thinking about the games that we have and your team, how do you feel like your team is going to stack up against the team of Zerofine?
I think my team has a good shot. I think my team has some good players. I know them all pretty well, so yeah, I'm pretty confident that we can do well today.
I like it.
Awesome. And how do you personally feel facing up against Zerofine? Because this is really the first time.
I mean,
this is really the first time Pam and Euro have gone head to head.
Yeah.
I know Zerofine, you know, he's a good player. Like, he's at the top of EU. I've never been able to play him before, so I'm pretty excited. But I can't really say how it'll be because I never played against him.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
right,
we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Zerofine, your team. So, did you like the classes that they got under their belt? Because, of course, the 4 and 4 were split. Are you happy with the class differential at all?
I'm okay with every class. I could accept any teammate. I'm fine with everything.
Perfect.
The whole event is fun, so...
Great. So very leader answer. I like that a lot. So Zerofine, last question I want to ask you before we settle in for the rest of the tournament here is, was it hard making the Vial gated decks? Like, did you have a different idea for 20,000 to 60,000? Did you just want to play one thing? Like, what was your idea about it?
I can't really tell much because I will reveal my class.
Okay.
But what I can
Hush.
tell is that my class was really helpful.
Okay. All right. So easy.
All right. Interesting. So we're gonna let you go for now, but we're gonna come back to you after the 4 games for the final match.
That's right. All right, see you guys in just a little bit. So yeah, so underway. I like it. They're both ready to go, and like you said, this is the first time that Crumzian and Zerofine are going to be able to actually face off against each other. We get to see the 2 titans from both regions fight off against each other after their teams do battle. This is going to be an exciting day.
And in the first match, we've got Jordude playing Forest and Cure Mango playing Shadow. And I know you're really excited about the Green Glen Axeman.
Yeah.
How do you think that's going to step up to the new Shadow Legendary, which we can talk about too?
So let's have some fun with this today. So I really don't know how much the format has changed, right? We've only had a couple days, if not, just a week or so to play with these new cards. All of the matchups are different. Like Zerofine was even saying, he didn't even expect all of these new classes to be changing around as much as they did, because the cards at first looked a little unassuming, but in practice, they're proving to be very good. So Arcus, Ghostly Manager, which is an awesome name, by the way, I feel like does the same thing, and I kind of like this as the first matchup as Green Glen Axeman, in the fact that it gives Shadow that nice way to push damage going into turn 10 to maybe finish with Aisha a little bit better, because it has those ghosts that can just impact. It does that 3 damage, that 2 damage, like over time, turn after turn, leading into those later game turns.
Interesting. Yeah, I've always been a big proponent of mid Shadow. It fell off a little bit, but I think with Aisha and Ector being able to assist now with that, all of that extra face damage, I don't know. I really want to see Shadow kind of take this away from Forest.
You know, to be fair, it could be. It could just be the fact that you know, maybe Forestcraft is still, I need to draw specific cards in the right order to make sense, whereas mid Shadow's always a deck where it's like, I'm going to be drawing cards, I'm going to be playing things, you have to deal with me always, you have to always prepare for Ektar, it can always come down and be lethal, or at least set up lethal in the following turns. The cool thing Arcus also does, besides just setting up for a later game Aisha, is it now threatens, okay, if they have an early Ektar on turn 7, and they just push me down to like 6 or so, and then they play Arcus afterwards, now I have to just play wards every turn because they can just keep playing small followers and just finish me off.
Yeah, and now the 7 play point area in the Shadow deck is much more highly contested because you want to have 3 Arcuses. You need to be able to draw that card by 7.
Yeah.
But you're also going to want to have maybe Zombie Party on turn 7 and then Ector. And then it kind of, I don't know, it's interesting. I really want to see how the players have chosen to stack the deck because Cure Mango has to have the 3 copies of Arcus for the tournament rules.
Today you have to have all 3 copies of the legendary of your class in your deck.
So obviously you would still have 3 zombie parties, but would you maybe take out an Ector? I mean, how would you try to stack that deck?
No, you just play it all.
Play it all.
Play it all.
Nice.
Maybe you go down to 1 Aisha instead of 2, maybe.
Okay.
Other than that, you kind of just keep the deck relatively simple. You don't play the Thanes anymore because you don't need them. You don't need to play any of the extra 7s through 9s that aren't just Arcus and Ektar. And you kind of just keep it, I draw cards, I get my good cards, I end the game.
Gotcha. And Shadow also had a new addition, a gold card, that I think has pretty good synergy with Arcus, the Ghostly Manager. It's a Lord Deathskull. It's a 2-drop, 1/3. And its last word effect is that it gives an allied follower the last word effect, summon a skeleton if it's unevolved. If Lord Deathskull is evolved, it gives an allied follower the ability to summon a zombie instead.
Yeah, just more value off of playing small followers and giving other things the ability to just keep pressuring with Ektar and stuff like that. But enough about the new cards. Let's see what our first 2 competitors have to say about their decks and the new cards. Let's welcome the Jor Dude and Cure Mango. What's going on, the Jor Dude?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on? And Cure Mango, what's going on? How you doing today?
Pretty good. Just woke up.
All right, perfect. Just in time for the tournament.
Nice, awesome. Jordude, so in making your deck, what were some of the challenges you had to face? How did you fit your card into the current meta? Did you change up anything? How was that working for you?
Basically, I just took like the old mid-range forest and tried to fit in X-Men into it.
Gotcha.
And how have you been liking the card? Have you gotten a chance to play with it a lot? Is it something that you felt like it was comfortable just to add into the deck, or is it kind of just, I don't know yet?
It's kind of, I just threw it in, and I haven't got a chance to play it yet. So
Perfect.
I'm hoping it goes well.
Perfect. Hoping it goes well. Any hard cuts that you had to make to include Green Glen Axe?
If you guys see my deck list, you will see that there's a lot of 2-ofs, so that's how I was able to fit it in.
Yeah, kind of just a little bit less of these, a little bit more of these. I see that you also included Storage Falconer. How have you been liking that card so far?
Oh, Storage Falconer is great. I think it's like probably the best card out of the 2, and it really supported Forest, especially in like the aggro archetype.
Perfect. Well, I'm happy you got to play Forestcraft. I know you're a big proponent of it, so I want to see what you can do it. It's in capable hands. And next, we're going to move on to Cure Mango. Cure Mango, you got to play with Arcus Ghostly Manager. So I know you've played a lot of Mid Shadow. I remember all the way back from Season 1, that was one of the decks that helped you qualify. How are you feeling about Mid Shadow these days?
It's lost a lot of its early game. So like Lurching Corpse and Necro Assassin. So you can't really win the early game that much. You have to rely on mid to late.
Gotcha. Trot's Kurtz kind of fills that gap a little bit. You can target an ally, destroy an enemy, all that good stuff. I noticed you also include Corpse Lord of Woe. How do you feel that card does it? How do you like the synergy with Arcus and Corpse Lord of War? It kind of gives it that early evolve turn. It gives the mid shadow deck that early evolve turn that it needs. How are you liking that?
Corpse Lord is like the strongest thing you can have around turn 4 or 5. It's like the only way you can get like maybe a 3-for-1 in Shadow.
Okay, so a nice little value pickup. And then as far as Arcus is concerned, have you gotten a chance to play with it a lot lately? How are you liking it? Is it something that you were happy to build your deck around?
Yeah, I played it with it a lot. It's still got an issue of not doing much on turn 7.
Sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Mango, how are you feeling about your chances?
I think Force is a really bad matchup.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
the early game's too strong.
We're gonna see though. We'll see if you can put him to the test. All right. So before we hop into our match real quick, Dude, tell people how they can watch your stream. Anything else that you do. Basically, just this is your outreach to the community. Let them know about you.
Cool, the shameless plugins.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you could check me out on Twitch at the Dude. I post more YouTube content, so on YouTube it's the Dude, and then Twitter is COL_the Dude. So follow me.
Perfect. Shameless plug
Awesome.
there. Yeah.
Cure Mango, how about yourself? Where can people follow you? Where can they watch you?
They can find me on twitch.tv /cure_mango. And you can find me on my Twitter down here. And there'll be a link to my YouTube from there.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we're going to hang up for now. GLHF with your game. We're going to come back to you and see you play through your game.
That's right. This is going to be interesting. So it's funny. He's like, Forcecraft matchup's really bad. You know,
I think that's true in general.
I think everything is a bad matchup against Forcecraft right now. Honestly, I feel like Forcecraft might just be the best deck right now. I know a lot of other people have different thoughts and things like that, but I just think it has the range. You know what I mean? It's got Cassiopeias. It's got really good early game with Wood of Brambles and Bounce. Now it has Storied Falconer. That 1/3 body is something Forcecraft has never really had on turn 2.
Right.
And it just plays so well with Wood of Brambles.
And if you evolve the Falconer, the Falcons in your hand get Bane. Like,
yeah, you get this extra Storm
gross.
option later in the game. You get a nice turn 3 play if you didn't have anything else in your hand. It's just crazy stuff. But this is going to be a fun matchup. I really want to see what Shadow can do because we haven't seen a lot of it. We'll see if Cure Mango can put the Jordy to the test this match.
This is the first game in the Shadowverse TeamTacular. The winner of this game will give their team leader 10,000 vials to use in the final game. Let's see what they're able to bring to the table.
That's right. And of course, guys, don't forget giveaways. And we're going to be, I'm going to be yelling them out at least during the entire cast today whenever we hit one of those qualifiers. And it might even start right now. We'll see. Yep, here we go. No mulligan for the Dude. That's a giveaway.
Giveaway.
Let's give away a pack. That's right, guys. And just pay attention in chat to what Aya Senpai is saying, and he will let you know how you get your packs.
Double Axeman in the hand for Jordan.
There
Oh
we
my
go.
gosh, darn it, pretty well. He's got the Water Fairy too. That's a nice one drop.
Yeah, that's right. All right, we're getting the
Nice to see
emotes
you
in.
too.
Yeah, nice to see you. Yeah, yeah, very friendly. Luna's kind of a bully, but not today.
Pretty good, pretty good. Cure Mango's got the Belinus on turn 2. Probably just going to throw that on the field. He drew the Zombie Party too. That's going to be nice. And he's got the Corpse Lord as well.
The card that he likes. Not a lot of ways to build up shadows before the Corpse Lord of Woe, but if he uses his first evolve on it, I don't think that'll be that big of a problem. Problem is, he's on the play. He doesn't get that first evolve.
Right, yeah. How do you like the Corpse Lord on turn 5, for example, if you're on the play?
Honestly, I think I'm right along the same lines as Cure Mango. As I think Corpse Lord of Woe is probably the strongest thing you can be doing in the mid-game as Shadow right now. There's not really a lot going on, right? It's either Prince Catacomb or Bust. But Corpse Lord of Woe changed that a little bit in the fact that now you just have a solid body that your opponent's going to have a hard time dealing with.
And shine.
Gotcha.
All right. And
Oh, come right into the scoring.
Yeah,
Let's go,
that's
man.
perfect. That's always what you want to see. Hopefully he even draws into his Prince Catacomb. That's always what you're hoping for here.
Storied Falconer are going to be getting so much value trading into those skeletons if he chooses to play that, maybe plus a fairy as well.
That's true. This is a tough turn. It's always a thought when you're playing Forcecraft and you have that Wood of Brambles out. You don't have any other fetch like Starry Elf in your hand to get another one. Do you want to bounce it with the Airbound Barrage? It's a really good tool against Shadow, specifically against cards like Skull Ring and their early threats.
Right, and knowing that the Corpse Lord could be coming out next turn, you have to try to think about that as well.
Yeah, it's a very interesting choice here. I honestly, and this is something I will attest to, I never know if I want to bounce this back to my hand or not. It looks like Jordude does know, and he's going to pop it back out. And then followed it up with a nice little 1-3. Like I said, this 1-3 body is so good. So good in the early game.
All right, this is turn 4 for Mango coming into the O-Dial Black Swan. Definitely going to come in handy when you get that second evolve on turn 6. He's got the Troth's Curse. He could trade in with the Skeleton just to clear off that Storied Falconer. It's going to be pretty annoying to deal with that. Zombie Party, though, 3 damage. Perfect to deal with that.
Yeah, this honestly is kind of what Mango was talking about with the early game. Honestly, the Jordude hasn't really put together that early game that you're super scared of. The difference is Mango doesn't really have that much of an early game period. I mean, he had the Skull Ring. He doesn't really have a great turn 5 other than the Corpse Lord. He's got a really slow start to this. The O-Dial can put him back into the game once the Jordude starts emptying his hand. But honestly, once that first Green Glen Axeman hits the table, the value train might be starting for Jordude here.
Yeah, just playing 3 cards, getting 3 damage to face, that's going to be absolutely nasty. Such a pain to deal with.
Absolutely, absolutely. And remember, guys, 10,000 vials to the winning team at the end of this match. We're only doing best of ones, okay?
Right.
So the winner, all important here, 1 game.
These games are going to go quick, too. He's got the Wood of Brambles in hand. Do you want to use that just now?
It's always a tough sell. I think this turn's nice. It just sets up a really hard Evo turn for Mango. You just get extra value if he wants to Evo over one of your followers.
Choosing to save the Evo point. I like that turn. I respect that, yeah.
Here we go. Big Daddy Whoa.
Big Daddy Whoa. Did you come up with that? That's pretty good.
Just right now. Right off the top. Right off the top. He's a scary dude, man.
He's a scary dude. It puts your opponent in such an awkward position. You have to kill it, and then you have to kill it again to make sure that your opponent can't evolve it
on
again.
The same turn, yep. Yep, it's really rough. And if you do have the 4 shadows, it'll evolve by itself. Very, very cool card. It never really saw the light of day until recently when Shadow also didn't start seeing the light of day at all. So it's kind of a weird and interesting spot for Corpse Lord. I hope we get to see a little bit more of it after rotation. I believe I'm correct in the fact that that one's not being rotated out with this next set. But I think it's going to find a place once all of the cards... To be honest, I said last expansion was going to be the biggest change for the game.
Yeah.
This expansion is going to be pretty big. Like, last expansion, everybody lost their end game. This expansion, everybody's losing their early to mid game.
Yeah, specifically Shadow's losing Ektar, and I mean that's
Prince
its
Catacomb,
main,
Soul
too.
Squasher.
Those are its main tools.
Yeah. It's going to be completely different.
Big Daddy Woe's going to have to step up his game, man.
That's right. And here we go. The Jordude has found a way with Rain here to take out the Corpse Lord of Woe in every capacity if he so chooses this turn. Oh, yeah. And just keeping that Wood of Brambles around forever.
Yep. That's not going to go away anytime soon. Certainly we'll see that again.
I like the play. I like the play. This is going to set up for a nice O-Dial from Mango. Can't really see another play outside of that. And then he'll have the Zombie Party for 7. Is going to be looking for something a little bit more heavy hitting on 7.
Yep.
Maybe that Arcus, like we were talking about.
Maybe the Arcus.
Maybe a little Ektar action.
Don't let the light blind you.
One can hope.
Yeah, we can only hope. All right, Lilac here. Lilac, a pretty good threat. Wood of Brambles plus an Evo, also very good against the X1 of O-Dial. And next turn, the Axeman.
Gonna be able to take that out without using an Evolve Orb. Keep it on the field too. So good.
So good.
Just deal with that threat. Not use too many resources. I really like that turn. And it's turn 7. Mango has not drawn into the Arcus. That's gotta feel pretty bad.
It does. And I think he just has to opt for the Zombie Party. He needs to go for some board fill here. And basically just, you know, hold his hands up and pray to the RNG gods that that the Jordude did not draw one of his Cassiopeias, just so he can try to get back onto this board here.
So let's say, a hypothetical situation. You have Arcus activated.
Yes.
And you play a 2-cost follower.
Yes.
Do fanfare abilities activate? I know last word effects activate.
I believe they would. Okay. Yes. Okay. Because it is you are playing it from your hand and then it is getting destroyed.
Very true. Okay.
And here's the Axeman. Here we go. Showing up to the party. And now, for those of you who are not used to this card just yet, Every time the Jordude plays 3 or more spells on his turn, 3 damage gets dealt to his opponent.
3 damage directly to face.
Here we go. I like it. Kirmango just setting it up. He's like, all right, I need to draw the Ektar.
Yep.
I'm going to position it like I have it. As you should with Shadow, always.
Very good. And he has the Pure-Hearted Singer next turn. He can play that, evolve, go for even more card draw, or just the Bob Kath in his hand.
Yeah.
Get those resources.
It's a nice little push when you have a full board. And he's going to be on 9, so he can activate all sides of Bad Katha, which is really nice. And the Jordude's kind of in a tough spot here. Now, he does have the active Axeman going, but he doesn't have anything like Venus to keep the cards flowing. He doesn't have his Jungle Warden yet. And he's got some stall tactics. I mean, he's got the Venus, but like not a lot of small things to do for it.
And I just noticed this: the Axeman, its effect can stack. Correct? I'm not wrong, and because normally a card will say this effect does not stack if it's a leader effect.
That's true.
Play more than one, it has Rush, you're able to clear the board, get some value, and then it'll deal 4 damage if you play 3 cards.
The fact that it has Rush is just awesome too.
That's insane.
It's really good.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a pretty good card.
Yeah, not many of the leader effect cards have like an additional effect like Rush or something to gain even more value. Sometimes it's just a fanfare of the last words, right?
So I will agree with the Jordude on the fact where he said Storied Falconer is maybe the better card. I think in all Forestcraft decks, that holds to be true. But in the mid-range Forestcraft deck specifically, I think Wrinkle and Axeman kind of just lets the deck do more.
Yeah, it really lets it breathe, if you were. It gives it more room to play.
All right, here we go. There's a nice little stall tactic here in Crystalia Aaron. He's got the Jungle Warden right after that if he wants to go like the 1-2 threat here. That's probably the safest option. He doesn't have a real way to clear this board off very easily.
He's got to get that healing. Getting the extra Evolve Orb would be really nice too.
But it's still scary. He knows that Pure Mango could have something like the Troth's Curse, and just I mean, he's got the Bad Katha spell. He's got a lot of options now.
Yeah, Pure Mango was feeling bad about this matchup, but
he's looking pretty good. The zombie party just kind of took it over, and I think the Jordude just lacked access to board wipe. That's what it came down to, and Pure Mango is just able to pressure this entire game, never kind of relents. Didn't really let the Wood of Brambles affect him too much.
Yeah, that massive board was really tough for Forest to deal with, and Mango's really run away with that. What options does Forest have available to it to help deal with that kind of specific archetype?
I mean, honestly speaking, Cassiopeia is its main answer for most things. Airbound Barrages, maybe the Jordude used his Airbound Barrages a little bit too, frivolously early in the game.
Take out a skeleton.
Yeah. Maybe, I mean, like imagine on the later turns here where he would have had Venus active, could have played more, lower cost followers and spells, able to draw more cards, deal some damage. Now he doesn't have those options because he really wanted to keep that Wood of Brambles around. And honestly, from what we saw, he didn't really need it this game. But I know what it feels like as a Forestcraft player to just want to keep it around for forever.
Yep. Oh, coming into that 2-drop is nice. Andrialphus into Troth's Curse, going to be able to push for 7 damage this turn, plus filling up the board with card draw with the Pure-Hearted Singer if he wants to.
Oh my goodness.
My
and there's the Aisha.
17 shadows, more than enough.
Now 10. The Jordude's at 1. So now the Jungle Warden's still a decent option. It's a very scary option, but it's a decent option. He can trade along the 4-1, and then he can go face with the other one. And then Kirmango will still have to find an answer for the the Jungle Wardens, but he has that Troth's Curse. I mean, he's got all the answers.
Yep.
He's got the Soul Squasher if the Jungle Warden gets evolved for more defense.
It is looking bleak for Forest, and we haven't even seen Arcus come down. It's in the hand. I really want to see that card get some effect in this game.
Honestly speaking, I really feel like if he can, Kirmango will play it and end the game with a 2-drop because he can. You know what I mean? Because he can.
Yeah.
This is a fun day, and if he can do it, he's gonna win the fun way. That was a rhyme. Hope you liked it.
I did actually.
Yeah,
it just kind of warmed my heart a little bit.
Yeah. So actually, this is a cool way we could actually test if Arcus works with Fanfare, right? Because technically speaking, right now, he could play Arcus, play Little Soul Squasher.
Interesting.
Kill the Evolve Follower, get the ghosts. Here we go. He's going to do it.
He's going to do it. He's doing it just for me.
That's good. We need it.
Pop. He gets... Oh my gosh.
2 Strong. Win with the ghosts.
So nasty.
Win with the ghosts. One. Oh, Mango, come on. You were so close to doing everything so perfectly. But what a match!
Great job to Mango. That's going to be 10,000 vials over to Zero Fine's team. That's got to feel really good starting out.
That's got to feel really good. You know, I have a little privy information about Zero Fine's decks. I won't go too far into it.
Right.
But I think he gated himself at 40,000 before the end of the day. Yeah, I won't say what class he decided to do it with, but he said the optimal build was 40,000 vials. He didn't need to go all the way up to 60.
And I misspoke. It's actually Crumgen's team that just won that match.
Oh, Crumgen's team. Yeah. Okay, good. But that's the power of the cards, right? So Green Glen Axeman, I feel like, didn't do that much work in this specific matchup because Mango pressured him out of his late game. And honestly, the Jordu didn't set up something like Venus earlier to kind of keep that engine rolling. He kind of was on the back foot the entire game. And I think it really came down to those airbound barrages just kind of being used to recycle a little bit earlier. If he would have kept them, he could have dealt with the bigger zombies later. Maybe had a better mid-game, late game. But Shadow was looking pretty nice that game.
That's right. You saw it here. Shadow's taken down Forest. Let's come back for a second, rethink things. We're going into the second game. It's going to be Vengeance Blood, played by Failbait, against Artifact. I'm trying to...
Articraft Portal Craft.
I couldn't remember. I wanted to say that. Articraft Portal with the Electromagical Rhino, played by Wonder Melodies.
Yes.
How is that matchup looking? Because Zero Fine and Crumgen have both mentioned that Vengeance Blood has really stepped up.
I still think that Portal is pretty good against it. The difference is how many wards Portal is going to bring to the table. Because if it doesn't have a lot of wards, I mean, how Vengeance wins, Emeraldas, Dark General, you know, those things that can just push for face.
So much unanswerable damage.
So
if you have that Blood Moon in effect from Waltz before you're even able to put yourself in 10 health. And you've also got the Belphegor too. Like, there's so many options to deal a lot of face damage.
And against Portalcraft, unless they get that early tempo start like we see sometimes, where they get the artifact generator into the puller, into the biofabrication, into the fill up the board
and you're able to get wards, like you said.
And you're able to get wards. I really feel like you can play Belphegor with impunity against Portal because they're not going to beat you that fast. And the Rhino deck specifically, because they went away from the Saphira option, maybe they're still playing Saphira.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. We'll be able to see here in just a minute.
We'll see in just a minute. But without the Saphira option, there's no Storm. So you can kind of go down to 10 and just manage the Rhinos as they come into play.
Very true. Very true. I mean, I'm going to have to give the advantage to Bloodcraft. I think it has the clear advantage. Just
it might be clear, but it's tiny.
It's tiny. Yeah. But the Rhinos are so fun.
It's your favorite card.
It's my favorite card.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. You feel so powerful when you're able to just play these massive rush followers.
I'm serious.
You have 20 more in your deck, and each time Deus activates, you draw 7, and then you're able to attack. It's insane.
Well, let's get our opinions from our next couple of players. Like you said, Wonder Melodies and Failbait. Failbait, how you doing today?
Yeah, g'day. Doing good. How are you?
Doing very well. And Wonder Melodies, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Exo. Very happy to be here and beat Failbait over there.
Okay.
Awesome. Wonder Melodies, how have you been feeling about the Electromagical Rhino? Tell us about your deck.
At first, I was a little unsure that it was a little bit more memey, but especially after testing during my stream today, I actually think it has a chance and that people are really putting it down and it has more to offer than people are saying.
I mean, I agree with you. We were playing. He knows. All right, Failbait, your card. Okay, how are you feeling about it? Was it easy to build the deck around it? Do you like it?
Yeah, easy to deck to build around. But the card says Vengeance, right? So all you have to do is type in Vengeance and throw anything with Vengeance in the deck.
Absolutely. So talk to us about your deck. We got it up here on the screen so everybody can see it. Were there any big, massive changes to old Vengeance Blood that you had to do to include the new card? What did you have to do here?
I guess looking more at 2-drops. What 2-drops work well with the Air Jammer now because you can get it so much quicker. Not much has changed. I guess Reach of the Archdemon just because of so many board-centric cards and decks, but otherwise pretty stock standard.
Perfect. And how do you like your chances with this new Vengeance Blood deck?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I think it's going to be awesome. Portalcraft doesn't stand a chance.
Easy. I like it. All right, Wonder Melodies, I know you just talked about your deck a little bit. We're going to actually put it up on the screen here in just a second. Talk to us about how you came to specifically the end game in your deck, because from what I can see right now, it looks wild. It looks crazy. And I know it couldn't have been easy to fit all of the endgame in there.
Agreed. Especially with this deck, I was wondering, how do I fit 3 rhinos into it, which I decided on a puppet artifact hybrid, and it's putting the rhinos in there. Especially with the Orcus and the Vengeful Puppeteer Noah, it actually does work quite consistently.
Okay,
or
so you still got
mid-range consistency.
Yeah, you still got some storm damage. I like that. I hadn't even considered that doing an Artocraft puppet hybrid.
I love it. I love Artocraft every time. All right, so the deck looks super fun. It's a hybrid. I know a lot of people try this on the ladder. It's super fun to play against. Do you prefer mixing more than you like just one way or the other, either be puppet or artifact?
Honestly, before this, I've never really done a mixed deck, but after experiencing it, I actually really like the mixed mechanic and how things could really spice it up, especially with the Rhino. It just actually synergized quite well.
Perfect. I like to hear it. So, Wonder Melodies, one question I have to ask you because I saw a big announcement just the other day. You finally got your braces off. How does it feel?
Yes! Oh, absolutely amazing.
So nice.
My mouth is freed.
I remember I got my braces off in high school.
Yeah,
and
same.
I felt like a new person.
You put your tongue to your teeth and you're just like, what is this feeling?
I can eat so many new foods now. So many food. I can eat apples. It's amazing. It's awesome.
Like a whole new world.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Failbait, as far as the new mini expansion is concerned, I know you have to play Waltz today. Is there any other things that have been going on in the expansion that you really want to talk about? Any fun decks that you've tried? Any fun interactions that you've seen other players come up with?
Yeah, I'm thinking Faust is so much fun. I'm excited to see how that goes today on the other team, of course. So hopefully it loses, but still interested to see how it goes.
Hopefully it loses, but you want to see it do good.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and I've enjoyed seeing Arcus. I mean, having a bunch of ghosts hit you in the face is very... I'm hoping they release a Ghostbuster expansion, but unfortunately we're getting Knights, but close enough. So I'm excited to see how everything moves forward.
Very nice, very nice. Well, we're going to let you go for now. We're going to go into your game in just a moment. Last words, Failbait. How you feeling in this matchup?
Yeah, confident. I think Portal will have to be really good, because if they put in a poor performance, Walter's going to stomp all over them.
Wonder Melodies, how you feeling?
Oh, we're feeling pretty good. I believe in the power of the Rhinos will overcome Blood.
Power.
Even if the matchup isn't very favorable, we'll still win.
Power of the Rhinos. I'm feeling you right here. Thank you very much.
Well, so far, the deck that has shown to be bad a matchup against the other deck has won so far. We're 1 for 1.
That's right. Yeah, the TeamTacular's really turned everything that we thought was going to happen on its head. So,
one game.
Hoping the Rhinos can trample the competition. Bada boom.
Yeah, I know you're on that side. Absolutely, absolutely. I don't really, one way or the other. I like both of the decks. I think that Failbait's deck is a little bit more meta, whereas Wonder Melody's deck's kind of, more fun for the day. And honestly, that's what I like to look at, right? If it looks fun, that means that we can glean something that a meta deck wouldn't be able to teach us. The things that we already know about Portal, hopefully we can learn some things that are new today, and maybe we like a mix. Maybe we like that Noah on top of the Rhinos. We'll see.
And this is the second game. Failbait is playing for Team Zero Fine. Wonder Melodies is playing for Team Crumsion. We'll see who is able to get their team captain those 10,000 vials.
That's right. All right, so Wonder Melodies with her hand. She's shaking her head already. Doesn't like the fact that she doesn't have any great early play. She's got the Hamlin on 2. She's got the Cat Cannoneer on 3.
That's not bad, not bad. And it's important to draw the Rhino. I think that's a key mulligan tactic for the deck. Because sometimes you don't draw it. That's your main thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? I forgot to give away another pack last match. So I'm going to yell it out. Giveaway!
Oh
we ended
gosh.
on 10 or before.
That's true. That's true. We did. Let's did. Giveaway.
Giveaway! All right, so we're throwing it out another pack. You know what, guys? If I forget, and even if I don't forget, and I feel like we haven't given a pack out, I'll make up a reason.
Well, we're gonna get those packs to you one way or another.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about that. I really like this hand from Failbait in a way. He's got Baphomet into Waltz. He's got the 2 Belfors in hand. Silver Chain. I mean, that's great.
So you want to know what's something funny about the next expansion, Brigade of the Sky?
Lay it on me.
Spiderweb Imp is going away. Okay?
Oh, don't tell me that, man.
He says the pleasure's mine. The pleasure's really mine, okay?
Oh, man, that feels so bad.
Spiderweb Imp is going away. I cannot wait for that card to be gone. The card's amazing, okay? That's why I want it to be gone.
I mean, as a Bloodcraft main, self-proclaimed Bloodcraft main, I'm just going to shed a tear right now off stream.
I can't wait. Belphegor's going to be gone too. That one stinks a little bit, but I think it's acceptable.
Belphegor's awesome.
It's a good card. It's a
great
good card. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Waltz, though. Waltz isn't going anywhere. That just came out.
And now Wonder Melodies has an interesting choice. Do you attack for face, or do you trade into the Waltz? Do you want to get that off the field, or do you want to get that chip damage in? Because that's so important for the Rhino deck.
All right, Jeremiah. What did I teach you about Portal?
You told me that with the rush cards, like the Rhinos, if that's your in-game, you need to get the chip damage in with you can. So if your opponent does leave up the Rhino and you're able to go for face, that's your win.
That's right. So we did trade, but we still got on our 3 face damage. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Wonder Melodies knows.
And having Waltz as a 3-drop is a really interesting position. It forces the Bloodcraft player to make a call. Do I want to have a 1-drop in my deck so I can play at least something along with the Blood Moon on turn 4 if my opponent takes off the Waltz? Or do I just play Blood Moon on turn 4 and deal with it? Because Wonder Melodies is taking the hint, and she's going for face damage. Failbait's already in Vengeance, and that Blood Moon has just been wasted.
Yeah, Wonder Melodies is doing a little dance. She's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do about this?
Is that a llama? Alpaca? Is
I don't know. I don't know what an alpaca is, to be honest. I'll be straightforward.
You don't know what it is?
I've heard of it. I don't know what it is.
You can't. It's like a llama.
It's like a llama.
It's a different variety of llama.
Okay. All right. So llama plus. All right. Got it. All right. We'll see here. But Failbait is going to come back into this game, able to clear.
Could be wrong. Could be wrong.
Follower away, but that Spinaria is sticking. That's going to be at least 4 damage if Wonder Melodies wants it. But again, like we talked about, because that Electromagical Rhino does not have Storm, there's no real other face damage that can be pushed. However, a 2-5 on this board is pretty strong.
2-5 with the possibility of Evolve, and the Rhino coming out next turn. How many artifacts are in the deck? She just pulled one there.
You know what? After you play the first Rhino, plenty. Okay?
Plenty? Okay.
Plenty.
All right.
Plenty.
You're right. Yeah. It could only be at 2, maybe 3 attack.
Oh
there hasn't been many instances of putting artifacts in the deck, and she's pulled artifacts out as well.
Even an Archdemon, it will barely be able to deal with this board.
Yep.
Not even. Not even. What can Failbait draw here?
Are
we going 2 for 2?
What did we do wrong?
Right.
We've called this wrong on every single game so far.
I mean, we didn't call it wrong. They've been calling it wrong. Okay.
You know what?
I'm not putting the blame on us.
I'm willing to accept my part of the blame if you can accept your part of the blame.
No, yeah, no blame on me. Okay.
All right.
I think Portal's sweet, and Wonder Melodies basically stepped on the gas pedal and said, you want to stop to play your Blood Moon? I'm going to punish you for it, and that's exactly what you should do.
She's getting the ward, and there's going to have Drain for 5 with this Evolved Vania, which is nice. Still not enough to clean off the Spinaria. Only 1 follower is going to be able to go down. That's going to be it. The Rhino's going to be able to clear out that ward.
Please, you got to play the Rhino.
Please.
That's how you finish it.
What if it does? What if it has 0 attack? There's no way it has 0 attack.
That's true. I don't know.
It's got to have at least 1. Come on.
It could be 0.
What is happening here?
Failbait's like, just beat me.
Dude, you're speaking my mind, Urias.
What's going on?
What's going on,
man? Wonder Melody is definitely thinking about this play. She's got like literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways to win out of 6 in her hand.
Yeah, she's got Rush anyway.
Yeah. She's just trying to figure it out. You know what? Maybe the Rhino was at 0. She was just really unhappy she didn't get to play it.
Yeah.
I feel for her. I feel for her. But another upset as far as the players are concerned. What's going on? What's going on? Crumgen's team taking an early lead, 2-0, just crushing the competition.
Feel really good, man. I'm shocked. I really am. Like, I was feeling for the Rhinos. I wanted them to do well, but I thought in the back of my mind, maybe I thought the Vengeance was going to be able to play such a much bigger factor in that game.
So as a Bloodcraft main, but now secretly a Portalcraft main, I'm
a Portalcraft lover.
Okay, lover. Are you happy that the Rhino deck beat the Blood deck?
I am.
Okay,
I am.
Good.
I really am.
That's what I like to hear.
I'm excited to see a card that everybody thought was going to be a meme, that everybody thought was going to be, oh, it's fun, but is it good? I'm excited to see that there's possibilities.
We didn't even get there, though.
Maybe.
We know in our minds, because we could see the context of the game, when the Rhino came out,
Right.
it was going to be just as hard to deal with as
Yeah.
the Spinaria, and maybe even more so, just because it, you know, it starts shuffling all this insane endgame into your deck. But
Very
yeah,
true.
didn't even get there. I think Failbait was a little too overconfident by playing that Blood Moon, and he got punished.
Little greedy. But, I mean, the point of today, we're able to see the possibilities
Yes.
for these new cards and how they can change the meta. Because,
Absolutely.
I mean, like, thinking ahead,
I am right along the same line as Zero Fine. I looked at the cards, and I couldn't contextualize them very well. I was like, you know, some of these cards look pretty good, some of these cards look okay. And then, when all is said and done, no, the metagame has shifted.
there's some very strong decks. that are able
Cygames
to be
said,
made.
we're going to make an 18-card expansion that will shift the meta. We were like, yeah, right, bros. And Cygames was like, no, trust us, we got you. And they did. They did it.
Right, so looking forward to the next game. It's going to be Haven versus Runecraft with Tutankhamun. Give us the rundown on Tutankhamun. It's a 6-drop, 6/4.
Yes.
Its last word effect is that it summons itself again if it's killed when it's at least 2 health.
Two defense. And then when it comes back, it's 1 defense, locked. But Ether of the White Wing, maybe a little Snow Cat White Sage, you know, or Snow White Cat Sage.
Snow White Cat Sage.
Yeah, Snow White Cat Sage. It can come down and pump it. You know, there are a few little cool things you can do with it. Ether of the White Wing is probably the easiest one to manage. To keep that, like, rolling. You know what I mean? You play that on 6, then you play Ether of the White Wing possibly into another Tutankhamun on 7.
So do you think it works well with a Tinko Shrine deck or maybe like a Temple Shrine?
So here's the real thing. I don't know how much has shifted in the fact of Summit Temple versus Tenko Shrine. What I can tell you is I've only been playing against Tenko Shrine Haven lately.
Yeah, everybody on the ladder trying that out.
Everybody
trying
is.
that deck
Because
out.
it's a new card, it's great, and the deck itself is super fun to play. I think it can fit into either. It really just depends on... You're not going to play 3 of these in your deck. Today you are. Today we're going to see 3 of it in the deck. Maybe you should. I don't know. But current thought is once you get to the 6 and higher cost, you have Ether of the White Wing to kind of pull your options. So which deck likes it more? Summit Temple probably doesn't play well with a follower that has higher attack than defense, but we've yet to see.
So Baka Baka will be playing that Tutankhamun deck, and Potwasher will be playing the Truth Seeker Faust Runecraft deck. We've got them on the line right now. Let's get their thoughts on this. Baka Baka, how are you doing today? How are you feeling, man?
Pretty good.
Nice,
A little bit sleepy because I was up late watching stuff, but I'm good.
Weren't we all
Yeah.
up late last night?
We all
Potwasher, how you doing, man?
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Uh-oh, cut out a little bit there. What'd you say, Potwasher?
We're trying to set up the game right now, so...
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay,
sorry
no worries.
about that.
So Baka Baka, with your experience with Tutankhamun, how do you feel that your deck is shaping up? How do you like it so far?
I like the Storm Knight. Tut is sadly kind of underwhelming, so he's kind of there just for moral support. And if I get a good curve, right, I can play Aether Wing into it and have a nice big board with turtles. But otherwise, he's kind of just there like a cheerleader.
Okay, you know what? Sometimes all a deck needs is a mascot and a cheerleader to kind of push it to the next level. Potwasher, talk to us about Faust. So this was a card that it's been one of the harder cards to kind of realize because we haven't even seen Dirt Rune played in that way in a long time, maybe even since the Mimi Pascal versions of Dirt Rune in the past. How do you like Faust? Do you think it fits well into the metagame now? Do you think it'll even be good in the metagame come the new expansion?
So, there was a lot that went into this deck, and the final iteration of this deck was actually realized at around maybe 4 a.m. last night, very late last night. And what that means is that there's actually last-minute changes to the decks, and we made the strategical decision to tech specifically against Haven because the player that we were facing was released early on Twitter. So I made the strategical decision to make some deck list changes. I was originally planning to run Grand Summoning as a card, but it was specifically not a very powerful card against most Haven lists right now. So
competitive player Potwasher.
Yeah, I've made some.
Stop being so good.
Decisions.
Yeah, come on, man, come on. But anyway, so getting back to Faust specifically, do you think it fits well into this version of the deck, and do you think it will be good coming into the new expansion?
Yeah, Haven does have a problem with dealing with large-bodied followers, and let's say you get a Mage of Nightfall down on turn 6 or something after a Faust. If you manage to land that buff, and even if you don't, it's another threat that the buff lands on or something like that. Haven doesn't have efficient ways to deal with a lot of followers without evoing, and then you might run out of evos, things like that. Maybe it buffs it past the John Beacon of Hope threshold, things like that. It just puts a lot of pressure on the opponent, large bodies that they'll have to suicide trade into, and I think that's very powerful. Whether it'll make it into the meta, it might be a little bit difficult, but maybe in the future if we get more dirt cards. We're going to lose a lot in the next
Halo
expansion.
Golem is a huge one.
Going out
Mage of Nightfall is another big one, especially with Faust. So yeah, the context will be a lot different.
Pot Watcher, I'm curious, as a very successful competitive player, as a general blanket question, how do you feel that this Dawnbreak Nightedge mini expansion is going to affect competitive play for you next week?
I'm not in the finals, but I am supporting
what are you expecting
my
to see?
teammates.
Yeah, what actual changes do you think will happen?
There are a lot of options, and all the matchups are very different now. So we're going through and doing a lot of testing, going back and looking at deck lists that were considered optimal. And if you take a look at classes like Sword, which there was an optimal list at the end of last month, and there was an optimal cannon list.
There's no way he won't fall for this one. Shadowverse Open crunch, I'll get me a golden ticket to the Shadowverse World Grand Prix.
Too late, silly pirate. Finals start this weekend. Watch the top players from Pan America and Europe fight for $32,000 and a place in the Contenders Cup, one step from the World Grand Prix and the $1 million first place prize.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Shadowverse Open TeamTacular. Our first preliminary matches are all done. We know how many vials our team captains are going to have. Crumsian's on the upper end of that with 50,000 vials, and Zero Fine down with 30,000 vials gated. Hope you guys liked that little promo video lead into our little finals. Remember, guys, next week, day one of both Pan America and the European playoffs will begin, followed, of course, the next week by the closeout of that to see who the champions are. But anyway, back to today. Today's been a super fun day. All of the good matchups have been losing. All of the things have been upsets today.
Yeah, every single game has been an upset. That's been the most surprising thing to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said earlier, this whole new mini expansion is just one big adventure, one big journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And not just this mini expansion, but of course today, guys, like we told you, we're going to come back with some card reviews today, or card reveals rather, not card reviews. But it's also, we're going to be talking about the new expansion. So if you guys didn't get a chance to watch the expansion trailer at the beginning of the show, we're going to run that through one more time, guys, so check it out.
Just how far do these skies stretch? And what could be waiting for us on the other side? Back when we first asked those questions, we had no idea where the wind would carry us. But now, we're ready to soar, onward across the great blue skies to that fabled island. We each have powers hidden deep inside, powers that we'll use to stand against fate. Some battles we won't be able to avoid. We've seen how hard it is to run from conflict. But we've got a promise to keep, so we won't give up now or ever. Throughout our adventure, we've made so many friends. Bonds we share have given us strength to overcome the darkest times. If evil should ever try to take over the sky, then we'll be there to protect it, to provide hope for the future. Oh, child of darkness and flames, grant us a path forward, past the grand blue beyond.
Brigade of the freaking Sky, man.
Brigade of the Sky, man. It's coming so soon. It always surprises me how fast these new expansions come in.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the mini expansions being introduced, it's more just like, okay, we're going to change up the meta. We're going to change up the meta. We're going to change up the meta. I like it for competitive play because it means they have to always stay on top of their toes. They can't settle in to what they thought was good. You know, like even what Potwasher said. Everything's changed, even right before the the last playoff week. And the end of
nothing gets stale. There's always something new. You really have to stay on your toes.
I love it. So, speaking of the new set, we've got some cool things for you today, guys, like some card reveals. Let's get into our first card reveal. What do we got here? We've got
Tycoon.
Love the name. First of all, love the name.
Love the face. He's a good-looking chap there.
That's right, and he's sitting in his spoils, okay? So, the stuff that you can't see, guys, this is a Swordcraft bronze card. It is also a commander. 2 play point 2/2, fanfare enhance 7, gain +3/+3, then draw cards until there are 5 cards in your hand. We just talked about Spartacus drawing you cards. Tycoon coming out to draw some more cards for Swordcraft.
It seems like they're really trying to make Spartacus a mainstay.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what this card is, right?
Yeah.
Spartacus support.
Spartacus support. Tycoon like, hey, I got you, buddy.
That's
We're good to go.
That's right. I think it's really cool. The odd thing, though, to me, is that we've been getting so used to Arthur pulling 2-drop commanders with support cannon. Support cannon is going away with the expansion.
That's
so
true.
You don't get that extra benefit from having the 2-drop commanders. Not necessarily something you want to pull with Arthur, but maybe something you want to put in an Arthur deck. On turn 7, you don't have the Arthur.
Right.
Maybe I need to draw some cards.
And what's interesting is that is in the mini expansion currently there's already been a new 2-drop. And now another 2-drop, and the 2-drop place in Swordcraft was already like there was so much competition for that spot.
Absolutely.
And it leaves the opportunity for so many unique player individual classes. Maybe someone likes Tycoon, maybe someone likes Cthulhu. More than this, and there's just so many more options now.
That's right, that's right. Now, Tycoon, I just want to ask you this one question, okay, Sterling? If Tycoon had a secondary name, if it was Tycoon, something, what would it be?
Javarius.
Tycoon Javarius.
Yes, that's his name.
Tycoon
just look
Javarius.
at him.
He's you know what? He definitely looks like a Javarius. You know what?
He
I second
totally
that.
looks like a Javarius.
Yeah, I've never heard that name before,
like
but you know what? It
just
fits.
some pompous English lord. Yes, Javarius.
He's the guy that denies you your request and then sits back and eats his meat and wine in the old days.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yeah.
I got it. Javarius. Perfect. All right, let's get into our next card. Tycoon was a great one. Albacore. So it's a tuna. It's a big tuna.
It's a big old tuna.
It's a Dragoncraft tuna. Okay, it's a 7 play point 7/5. Last words, restore 3 defense to your leader. Evolve, same as the unevolved form. So it gives you another new heal option that Dragoncraft has been kind of missing once Draconic Fervor kind of left the format. I love the art on this card. This card's gonna look amazing animated.
It looks really cool. It has other tuna with it. Is it diving into the earth in the evolved form?
Ooh, like maybe into like the core of the earth?
Is this like a kamikaze tuna?
It could be. I mean, we were talking about this set being called Brigade of the Sky. Maybe this is Brigade of the Sea, and he's just going deep.
Oh, I just assumed he was flying.
Oh, you know what?
It was a flying tuna.
If it could be. You know what? Maybe that makes more sense.
Why was my natural inclination to think it was flying?
I don't know. I mean, that makes more sense with the expansion.
Yeah, Brigade of the Sky is like, things are flying.
It's a flying tuna. Okay, so same question. Albacore, comma.
It's fish.
Albacore fish?
Yeah, I don't think it would have a name. Like,
you could do better than fish.
Why would it have a name? No. It has the name Albacore because the people who have given it that name. That is the Albacore.
Okay, so
I
see.
It's
so
like
it's
the
like
Leviathan or Godzilla.
Okay,
you know, it doesn't name
Albacore.
itself. Yeah.
The fish.
The fish. Albacore.
Fish.
The fish.
Yeah.
Albacore, fish.
I love it. I think it's awesome. It opens up on Overflow, essentially 7 play points for Dragon, gives you an extra heal. I think both cards could see play. I think the Swordcraft probably more so, just because it's a wider option. But if Dragoncraft really needs that heal option later in the game, this could definitely fit in if need be. So I think these cards are cool. I think the nice Grand Blue tie-in with the new set, Brigade of the Sky. So we've been pulling from other things, like ever since Wonderland Dreams, you know, with the Alice in Wonderland theme, Dawnbreak Nightedge with like themes of light and dark. Now we're kind of bringing it right back into like Psy games as a whole. I kind of like it a lot. It just looks, it's about friendship, you know? It's about friendship and all that kind of good stuff.
Friendship, camaraderie, love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff.
And Bahamut is back, and I think they already spoiled that card in Proto Bahamut, so I love the fact that Bahamut's back in a new, scarier version.
Hearing the name Proto Bahamut, my first thought went to like a mecha Bahamut. Like,
sure.
Just like clad in metal, like red eyes, lasers, and everything.
Well, you saw him in the video. He looks crazy.
He looks crazy. His mouth was like chained up. Like, what was going on there?
Yeah, well, he ripped through those like they were nothing. So, yeah, not much was going on is what that was. But in any case, we are getting into our final match. We've already talked about their Vials. Now let's get a chance to talk to our captains, which we haven't gotten to talk to since the beginning of the tournament today. Zero Fine, you've been gated. You've been locked into 30,000 Vials. How does that make you feel?
I think I'm in great trouble.
Oh no! Zero Fine! No!
The team failed him.
Oh man, that's gonna feel bad. Crumsion.
No,
Go ahead, Zero Fine. What were you gonna say?
They didn't fail. They didn't fail me. Card games most of the times work like that. But 30,000 Vials with my class is a bit against the Wood of Brambles class.
All right. So we're learning a little bit about what the classes they're going to be playing. So Zero Fine, quickly, what class did you choose with your 30,000 Vials?
We were tasked to play our favorite classes, therefore I chose Haven.
Okay.
And Haven offered the choice of the Holy Lion crystals if you want to build a chip deck, so I was fine with that.
Got it.
But facing a 50k Vial forest will be tough.
Hey, if we've learned anything about today, it's that upsets are not only possible, they're standard.
Yeah.
So I would not count yourself out just
today's topsy-turvy. And Crumsian, so we just learned from Zero Fine that you're going to be playing a Forestcraft deck. Was it necessary to get up to 50,000 Vials? Are you really happy to get there, or would you have been okay with 20, 30, 40?
So, actually, I think it was mentioned earlier in the stream, but I capped out at 40. And once I got to 40, I was just like, you know, I really liked my deck. Actually, you guys interviewed with Potwasher earlier, and he said that he stayed up till 4 a.m. talking about his decks. It was like me and Potwasher, Essia, we stayed up pretty late, you know, debating what's the best text against Haven, because I knew Zero Fine's playing Haven. And I was like, what do I want? You know, some cards I was thinking about were like Lilac. That's really good against Haven, so I really want to prioritize that, even in the 20k version. And yeah, Potwasher, in his interview, you can tell he's really smart, knows a lot about deck building. That guy is insane, but pretty much after we established the 40k deck, I was like, I really like this. I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to go with it for 50k and 60k. So I'll be playing 40k even though I have 50k.
Perfect, perfect. Well,
interesting.
Let's take a look at the decks and how they came together. So Zero Fine's deck first is his 30k Havencraft deck. Talk to us a little bit about constructing this deck with 30k Vials, Zero Fine, for the new players out there.
I mean, I tried to choose the best cards possible for the 30k Vial cap. I was obliged to play 3 Tutankhamun, and from then on, I think that the whole land crystal package is the best way to go for Havencraft. I mean,
sense.
it doesn't have any neutral synergies, the class itself, so I think the whole land crystal were the best choice.
He's also got Happy Pig in there. We're always happy to see that.
Trip Pig, that's pretty nice to see. I noticed that there's 3 copies of Snow White and only 1 copy of Jean. Was there any particular reason? Because, I mean, both of them are legendary. They're very expensive as far as Vials are concerned. Was there any reason you felt that the 2-drop was more valuable than the 3-drop, possibly Enhanced 7?
Yeah, I mean, since I knew that I'm up against Forest, I need that early game to set up a possible land crystal swarm, but we'll see what will happen.
All right, and let's move on to Crumzian's deck here, his capped at 40k Vial Forestcraft deck that he was going to play regardless. Talk to us about this deck, Crumzian. What are the big stars of this deck? And honestly, talk to us about Greenland Axeman as well. We heard a little bit about it earlier. I want to get your thoughts on it as well.
So the card is actually pretty good. I like the concept of it, and it's actually not a bad card at all. Although I don't think I would play 3 in any deck. I think if I was going to play like a mid-range control version, I might play 1 or 2, you know, we have to see. The card is not bad at all. Needs some more testing, but I don't know if I would play 3, but definitely not a bad card.
Perfect.
And so for my deck, I'll talk about my deck now, and I remade this deck like 5 times, you know, it took so long. And what I decided to do is, against Haven, I wanted to play a more, I don't know, kind of like longer game, especially since I know I'm going to be against like lower Vials if I'm at this 40k point. So I took out the Water Fairies, and I decided to play like 3 Venus, you know, 3 Warden, 3 Axeman. This is just like a longer game with the Forest list, and I really like it. There's a lot of thought that came into this, and pretty satisfied. I was satisfied enough to, you know, continue it with 50k and 60k, but that's like the concept behind the deck. Since I'm going to be using the 3 Axeman, I need to go for a slower version. I can't play Aggro Forest, you know, I'm going to go for a slower version, take a longer game, higher top end, and see if I can win through the board and in the late game,
Awesome.
kind of take control.
Yep. And if you guys were wondering out there why they were playing 3 of the legendaries, even though they're talking about maybe, you know, not wanting 3 in their deck, is because just like all of the decks today, they had to bring 3 of the classes legendary, just as part of the fun for today. So, Zero Fine, now that you have your deck, we're at the end of the day. Any final words for your opponent, and any words of encouragement for your teammates today?
I don't think that I'm the right place to make any statements right now.
All right, fair enough. Crumzian, how you feeling? Last words.
Well, you know, I don't think I'm going to let my team down. They're all really nice people. You know, we have a group DM. They all gave me support before this match. You know, good luck. And you guys should really, you know, check out their Twitter and follow them on Twitch, watch their stream. But yeah, I don't think I will let them down. And you know, Zero Fine, one of the best players in the West. You know, definitely a great player. But I think I have to show him why it's harder to top NA over EU.
Ooh, I like it. All right. Now hearing that, Zero Fine, anything to retort? Anything? Just a thumbs up? We're good?
No, I'm still in a tough place.
Zero Fine's feeling the weight. All right, guys, we're gonna get into our next match here. Thank you so much for the interview. Thank you for your time today in building the decks. We'll jump into your match in just a second here. You know what? I kind of feel for Zero Fine, right? He's like, I got capped at 30,000 vials. I don't really want to talk too much smack right now. I don't want to shame myself.
You got to do the best that you can with what you have.
Yeah.
Get what you get and don't throw a fit.
Yeah.
That's what my mom always taught me.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? That's a great lesson. And you know what? Zero Fine's mom probably taught that to him as well. Humility in all things.
Yep.
And definitely ready for this match, but not happy about it.
No. I mean, we saw Tutankhamun win, which is, I mean, it won with shining colors. There was simply no way to take it off.
Here's the difference, though.
Okay.
With the gated vials, you can't play Ether of the White Wing.
That's true.
So you don't have that extra little oomph with the Tutankhamun.
Giving it the extra defense and everything
the
like
next
that.
one and things
right.
like
So,
that.
I mean, like, do you think Forestcraft has the tools available to deal with the Tutankhamun by itself? You're nodding your head, yes?
Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is pretty rough for Zero Fine. But this gives Zero Fine a chance to prove not only what we've proven all day today, that the comeback kid always wins, but that Zero Fine EU is better than NA or Pan America. We'll see. We'll see. Crumzian had big words about how North America, Pan America is better. We'll see if Zero Fine can challenge that opinion.
Yep, this is it. There are the cards. Don't forget the winner of this game. Their team will take home the highly coveted Yuan Sleep Mask.
That's right.
I don't even have one.
All of our players today came in tired because they were up late last night doing things. This is a perfect way to get some better sleep.
Yep.
Absolutely. So competitive eyewear, that's what we're going to call it.
Competitive eyewear.
Yep.
I'm having trouble. So you obviously don't use it. You don't wear it when you're playing.
No, you use it to get better sleep.
Absolute god.
Yeah, unless you just don't need to look. By the way, giveaway, because why not? We see Happy Pig in hand.
What was Zero Fine had?
I'm
1, 2,
super happy.
Oh, no, he had 113.
Yeah, he has 113. But yeah, we're giving away a card, or pack right now. But mostly because I like Zero Fine's answers to my questions. I think he was very humble and ready for this match in a very, like humble way. That's the best way you can put it.
Very, very mature way.
Yeah, mature. There we go. Mature way. I like that. And we'll be giving away a few cards or a few card packs this game. We've got to catch up a little bit.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. We won't leave you hanging.
That's right. We won't leave you hanging. Zero Fine is very, this is what I love about him, right? So before the match, he's like, this match is going to be super hard. I don't really have a place to say anything. Look at the focus. Look at the focus on that man.
There's some gears turning in there.
He's a champion, man.
That's for darn sure.
He's a
I
champion.
don't know why I just went there with my voice, but...
Yep and down now. Let's go down. Darn sure. Yep.
All right, I'm going to call it right. That can't happen.
You know what? Giveaway, because our accents are amazing. Let's go. Get the card packs. So Holy Lion Crystal, the card that Zero Fine was talking about that he based his deck around, why he thought it was good for this specific competition was because it's a bronze card. All the cards that create Holy Lion Crystals are silver cards.
Yep.
Very easy to get this combo together with not a lot of vials. Very interesting, though, like you said earlier, that he chose to go with Snow White over any of the other legendaries that Havencraft has access to.
And his explanation really helped me see the bigger picture. You have to have those 2-drops to deal with the small followers and the large board and the free evolves that you get.
And as you say that, we can kind of see how that would have affected this game, right? Like if we see a Snow White here, maybe he just has a lot easier time dealing with this Falcon and another follower. But
yeah, Snow White can deal with the Storied Falconer easy and still be alive at the end of it.
If you guys weren't playing Storied Falconer in your Forestcraft decks, I'm sure, I hope that after today you've learned your lesson.
Hopefully you've been convinced. I've been convinced.
Yeah. I think the gold cards. We've been shining a light on the legendaries all day today, but I think the gold cards beyond Feline specifically, and maybe Green Glen Axemen, but I feel like the gold cards added so much weight to the format, right? We're talking about Storied Falconer, which just made Forestcraft. It basically did the same thing Feline did for Dragoncraft. It just bridged that nice early gap to where you can just kind of do whatever you want with it. Gives you nice late game options as well. The new gold amulet, White Fang?
White Fang Temple.
For Haven gave it a whole new deck in Tanko Shrine. You know what I mean? Just so many good gold cards that came out that are just shifting things around. I love it. Just 18 cards. That's all it takes. Knock the format on its side.
Very true. So what are Crumjin's options here? He's on the play. There's Sylvan Justice in hand.
Honestly, that's the safest bet. He could Sylvan Justice and Paula just to put some more things on board, but going into turn 4 against a Havencraft deck, you don't really want to give them good evolve targets. I mean, I would even be okay with passing because the Pure-Hearted Singer can't be destroyed, so an extra card draw just to filter the hand of Zero Fine, just that one extra card is not an option.
Right.
Plus, you have really good evolve turns coming up with Rain and Paula and things like that, so maybe you just attack and pass. This is a tough turn, though. This is a turn we've talked about, Rainy and I have been talking about for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's hard on the play on turn 4 with most decks to even do anything that isn't just going to get wiped away by a nice tempo play on turn 4 by the person on going second.
Right, because your opponent then has the first chance to use that free, it's almost free resource, not free, but the resource is available to them first to use it, and if you present something, they're just going to take it.
I'd say it's somewhat free, right? You get 3 as opposed to 2.
Right.
So you get that first little crack. And Priest of the Cudgel drawn off the top for Zero Fine was really nice this turn.
Yep, going to be able to take off the 2/2 and the Storied Falconer as well.
As a matter of fact, I like that Priest of the Cudgel play so much. Giveaway! Let's give a pack away. Priest of the Cudgel on 4. Come on. You know and love it. Havencraft, that's what you got to do, especially because Zero Fine's playing at a deficit with his Vials.
Yep.
He's got to make all the best plays on curve. That's one of them.
There is the green Glen Axeman in hand for Crumjin. Going to see that coming out in a couple turns.
He's got the Venus early as well. I feel like installing that. He's got the Fairy Whisperer or Sylvan Justice plus the Amulet, the Harvest Festival, to come down on a following turn to start drawing those cards that lead into Axeman.
Yep. Absolutely.
Plus, it's just a nice evolve target over a 4/4 here.
So what's the setup here? I mean, do you want to get as many fairies in your hand as possible so that you have the options to play cards later to activate Axeman's effect?
I think you prioritize drawing cards first with Harvest Festival. Looks like he's not even going to go down that road. Possibly just to do a nice little tempo play with Rain here and fill up the board. I don't mind this play at all. But I think you prioritize Venus so that you draw cards, and then you prioritize Axeman, essentially, because they kind of, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. If you can draw a card, you're dealing damage.
Very symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, very symbiotic relationship. That's exactly right. So don't really worry too much about the damage you're dealing. Worry more about keeping cards flowing in your hand, and the damage will just come.
Gotcha. Right in the turns. Going over to Crumjin now.
And now it's much weirder because he didn't play the Venus on 5, and he wants to play the Venus now. And this is kind of the same thing we saw earlier in the Jordude's game. He didn't get the Venus down early, wasn't really able to take advantage off of it, didn't really do much with the Axeman because of it, and eventually just lost the game to board fill. And we might be
competitive eyewear.
I love our production crew. They are the best.
Graphics on point.
I love them. Competitive eyewear is, in fact, what they're playing for. Couldn't have said it better myself. As a matter of fact, I did say that.
So gorgeous.
So it looks like he is just going to go away from the Venus option, just not even going to go there.
Yeah, didn't play it on 5, didn't play it on 6.
Nope. Not even saving the small followers in hand to produce more effects on later turns with the Venus, possibly after the Axeman.
Able to get good value with the Wood of Brambles and Insect Lord there.
Really just playing the game plan. Crumzian's like, my mindset is I want to have the board. The end.
Right.
If I can keep the board against Havencraft, they have to play reactively against me. That's exactly where I want it to be if I want this game to go long. Unfortunately for him, Zero Fine has a deck that goes longer than most Havencraft decks do.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's talk about Aegis for a second. Okay, first of all, Aegis is getting rotated out.
That's true.
Can we all give a bless RNG in the chat for Aegis leaving competitive play in a season?
Pour one out for the homie.
Yeah, pour one out for the homie. You know, Aegis is gone. Holy Lion Crystal is going to be the new endgame, and it could be something else, you know, depending on how the new expansion changes up things and adds new legendaries and things like that. But Holy Lion Crystal can just go indefinitely. It just keeps placing down the 4/4s after the 2/2s, and just continues on his paces.
Yeah, one of the few decks that can really go forever.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite as hard as Portalcraft, with just constant shuffling of the deck, constant adding new cards in the hand.
Right. Here we go. Snow White going to do its best job at clearing off this board.
Crystals of snow shimmer in the night.
This is one of the coolest effects of Snow White, just the fact that you can evolve it, attack, and then it evolves itself.
And then it
you
still
can attack.
retains the last word effect. Yeah.
Yep.
I love that. That's really cool.
It's really cool. Again, backbreaking when that was a 2/3 card. And now Crumzian, like, again, playing these options to keep the board as opposed to playing for the long game. Again, like he said he wanted to play this deck, has just left him in a spot to where he's just going to start getting behind these Holy Lion Crystals. He needs to just start pushing forward with this plan. I think you need to install the Venus, get out the Fairy Whisper, and then you can play Axeman plus a 1-drop plus the Harvest Festival next turn and just go. You don't have time anymore. This is the time. This is go time.
It's crunch time.
It's crunch time. It's Crumzian time. It's
time.
Rumple Crumch time.
Rumple Crumpskin time.
That's right. You know, we were thinking about names for these teams because they didn't come up with their own names before the day. It was just the team captain names. I was thinking Zero and the Heroes.
Zero and the Heroes, that's good. That's
Zero
great.
and the Heroes, even though, you know, Zero Fine, of course, is anything but a Zero. And then Crumzian would have been the...
He's a fine Zero.
He's a fine Zero, that's right.
I just annoyed myself right there.
And Crumzian would have been the Rumple Crumpskins.
Rumple Crumpskins.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love a good pun. I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Let us know in the chat what you think about those team names.
Yeah.
Give us one yourselves if you think you can. If you think you
throw
can
'em out
top
there.
those team names.
As a matter of fact, I like my team names so much. Giveaway. Let's give another pack away because I like my names.
That that surprises me every time when there's a giveaway.
Yeah. I like it.
I'm never ready for it. There's not two giveaways.
Just one for now, okay?
Just one.
When Jeremiah says it, I have to back it, okay?
I need the. He's my boss,
Yeah,
basically.
that's
like,
right.
Excuse
That's
me.
right.
Is that a giveaway? No, it's not.
Not that one. Not that one. As a matter of fact, I kind of lost track of what we were supposed to be doing with the giveaways, but I feel like they weren't happening enough. So
yeah.
I think we've been on pace. We've been doing a good job. We've been doing a great job.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean I'm the boss. I take all the credit. I've been doing a great job.
You know what? We've been doing such a good job. Giveaway.
Yeah, there we go. All right, I'll approved.
Approved.
Yeah, stamp of
approved.
approval. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's give another pack away. All right, so Crumzian, he did go with the Venus plan. However, he did not set himself up to be drawing a card plus getting the damage in this turn with Axeman. So kind of, again, I feel like hurting himself. Not doing the things he needs to be doing to kind of get this game. But it will keep the story alive of just every deck that was supposed to lose wins on the day, including the very last most important match.
What? Hey, the game's not over yet.
I'm calling it.
You're calling?
I'm calling it. I think Zero Fine's going to win.
He's got a great setup. He's got
2
4/4,
reasons.
2 wards.
For 2 reasons.
Okay.
One, Crumzian said Pan America is better than EU today. Okay?
I mean, he just sealed his fate with
he
that
sealed
right
his
there.
fate with that comment, okay? And 2, Zero Fine was so humble and gated by 30,000 vials, okay? That the universe is just that's what it's doing today. It's giving the energy.
That's life
to the underdog.
That's life.
Yeah, that's just how it works. Okay, it's looking pretty bad for him now. I was looking away from the screen for just 2 seconds there.
What
you know,
happened, Zero Five?
Everything's fine. Everything's okay. He's got his 1 Jean in hand. He's got the 1 Jean. However, that will take up his entire turn.
Yep. He could clear the board with that and essentially just press reset. But then there's the Axeman in hand, and that really just plays into Crumzian. That's kind of what Crumzian wants, I think.
Yeah. This is rough. This is rough. I called it a little too soon. Maybe just 2 seconds too soon. And then
What do you think is Zero Fine's best hope? Should he really just go for those Holy Lions and try to get to the Storm options?
Here's the problem. He's got to be able to clear the board turn after turn after turn. His deck isn't going to allow it because he wasn't allowed the cards. He went with the Snow Whites over the Jeans. Imagine if that that Snow White in hand was another Jean. Much better chance this game to win.
Yep.
Unfortunately, not being able to play a full set of all of them like you would in a normal Havencraft deck is going to come back to bite him here. I don't know if he has the time anymore to just play Holy Lion Crystals and try to win the game fast enough because he's at 9.
Right, because even if Zero Fine manages to clear the board every single time, right? And then the Axeman's going to come down, and then that chip damage comes in, and it's it. The Axeman cometh.
And is he going to leave the 6 damage in play? If he does, he's going to he's going to automatically lose to the Axeman. And I think that's just it. I think that's 6 damage to the face. Axeman comes down. You play 2 other berries on top. Oh no, you don't have the board space. You don't have the board space.
Yep.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Zero Fine. This is why he's one of the best players in the world, or in Europe at the moment.
Still, that chip damage, the 6 damage, it
plays a huge part.
It plays
in this
a huge
game.
part.
Yeah, it plays a huge part. That 6 damage being done means that Axeman can just come down this turn, and then next turn the game's over without any heal from Zero Fine. Zero Fine does not have any evolves left for that Happy Pig to gain the 3 defense immediately. Crumsian, just think about all his options here. How can I lose this game? I'm at 20. Is there a way if he plays, 2 more 4/4s with Storm next turn and I don't deal with anything in my dead? The answer to all of those questions is no. But he's looking like he's having a hard time with his play.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's thinking, do I go face or do I trade into the one of the lions?
I mean, I'm pretty sure face and play the Axeman and then just, throw your hands up in the air.
What's interesting is that if Crumsian leaves the lions up, goes face, does all that, and then the board becomes... there's a really interesting board space for Zero Fine because the board will be full, and, I mean, it forces Zero Fine to trade in the lions even if he gets up to the storm. It forces him to clear the board and not go face, right?
That's true.
Which is exactly what the Forest Craft player wants.
So Crumsian just playing it the super safe way, essentially, saying, I don't want to take any damage. You're going to have to run through my cards first. I still have a 6/5 that you can't deal with. That's just going to beat you anyway. I don't like the fact that Crumsian is not playing his Axeman to win this game. And for that reason, we're doing a giveaway. You know what? He's not playing Axeman, so I'm going to do it for him, essentially, by giving a pack away.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Very nice.
That's right.
You're a man of the people.
I am a man of the people.
Much unlike Javarius.
That's right. Javarius hates the people.
No,
he's a tycoon. All tycoons hate the people.
I know.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's just what they do. They hoard money. Javarius. What a scumbag.
What? Just misunderstood.
Come on. Don't back him up now. It's too late for that.
All right, we're at the Storm Lions.
But still, no way to take down that 6/5, and we are dead on board.
Yep.
So Zero Fine's team did as much work as they could to get him. He needed that one extra 10k vial. He needed that one more 10k vial increase.
Lethal is spelled C-R-U-M-S-I-O-N.
Very good spelling.
Oh, thank you.
Did it help that it was on the screen there?
It did. I kind of needed that.
All right, so Crumsian is our winner, which means that Pan America is the winner, which means that Crumsian's team is the winner, which means they won the competitive eyewear.
Which means that NA is better than Euro. Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Transitive properties.
That's
right.
How
that works.
And by here, I meant there when Crumsian said it just a little bit earlier.
Very true. Very true.
Very true. Yeah. Anyway, so this is just a nice little preamble, right? We've got to see a lot of what the mini expansion had to offer, right? And a lot of cards that we thought weren't going to be very great, like Arcus, Ghostly Manager. Pretty cool card.
Electromagic Rhino, really good stuff.
Tutankhamun can be very good. Very cool stuff. We saw some new cards from the new expansion today. I like Tycoon, giving Swordcraft, along with Spartacus, new effects that Swordcraft has never seen before.
Yep.
And, of course, a new heal card for Dragoncraft. I never am disappointed with heal cards. Dragoncraft, give it to Runecraft. Give Runecraft some heal, please. Okay? Please? Please?
You've heard it here.
Please.
Let's turn our gaze. Let's look forward a little bit to next week, to the first stage of the PAM Euro Finals.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like things have really been shaken up.
Absolutely. Going along with what our competitive players have talked about today, players have basically had to deconstruct everything they knew about the format, Sword being on top with 2 perfect lists and yada, yada, yada down the line.
Yep.
They're like, okay, everything's changed. Now I have to retest all of these different matchups. I have to find out a better lineup for what I think people are going to be playing. And because there isn't a competitive tournament before the finals, there's so much riding on that first day. I love it. I feel like it's the best, most purest way to test who actually deserves to go into day 2 of the finals and actually win the thing is what teams, what players can come up with the best strategies in a completely new and undiscovered format and take it home.
If I may, now that today is all said and done,
yes,
we talked about it a little bit, over this past week. What are your top 3 favorite deck archetypes? keeping the mini expansion in mind.
It's tough. It's tough. So I would say Forestcraft's still on the top of my list in both the aggro and mid-range formats. It really just depends on what you want to play. Nice. I think that Havencraft is one of the better ones. I don't know if Summit or Tenko Shrine is going to be the better. I think Summit might still be just a little bit better because it's more tested and it has the Heavenly Knights, which are just such an impactful card. But I'm not sure. Obviously, it's just I'm so unsure about it. Bloodcraft, right. I'm still shaky on. People say it's good.
Even though Bloodcraft lost, I'm still thinking it can be really strong in certain matchups.
That's right.
I think Waltz is still such a good option.
Against Havencraft, I think it's great. Against
yeah.
Forestcraft, Forestcraft has a lot of wards, has a lot of heals, has a lot of endgame now. Doesn't really care if you wipe their board away one time with an Archdemon or 2 times, something like that.
Sure.
Swordcraft went down, Portalcraft went down, along the lines of what Zerofine was talking about. I hate that Portalcraft went down, but it did. What's the third deck that rose up? It's got to be Dragoncraft, right? It's got to be the other deck that the players were talking about today, simply because Feline is that good, because Prime Dragonkeeper is that good, Ramp Dragon and or Lindworm is that good now. So Forestcraft, Dragoncraft, Havencraft, Swordcraft I don't feel like has fallen down that much. We might see it. Is it one of the best 3 decks? I'm not sure. But again, Bloodcraft is that other wild card that I'm not sure about. It could just be the best deck, and I haven't played it enough to know.
Yeah, I don't think Mid-Sword is really going to go anywhere. I think we're still going to see it show up in the finals next week. Right. Sure. Speaking of that, you've heard our thoughts on next week's first playoff game. Make sure you tune into that. It's going to be spicy. It's going to be spicy.
Super spicy.
Super spicy. It's going to be great. We're all going to be there. We're all going to have a great time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I had a lot of fun. EXO, do you have a lot of fun? Do you have any final thoughts about today?
Today was great. Today was awesome. We got to see so many fun things, new cards, new expansion stuff. I got to work with you, the person who kidnapped.
This is the first time we cast
Arthur. Yeah, it was. It was the first time.
Forgot about
He locked him in a room somewhere.
I gotta go get him out.
It was a great day. Did you have a fun day?
I had a great day. It's good to be back.
Awesome.
Back in the saddle.
And you know what? Since it's your first day here, why don't you give everybody a nice sign off?
Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.
Sick of not being a millionaire? Playing Shadowverse could get you an all-expenses-paid trip to Japan to compete for a massive $1 million first-place prize in the Shadowverse World Grand Prix. That's right, $1 million. So how do you win $1 million? First, you have to qualify for one of our 3 Contenders Cups. We have one for Southeast Asia and Oceania, one for the Americas, and one for Europe. These cups are where 2018's top players are flown to LA or Singapore to fight for the World Grand Prix invitations. It's gonna be epic. And how do you qualify for our Contenders Cups? First off, mark up your calendars because this year we are introducing the Shadowverse World Circuit. This consists of 3 offline tournaments that anyone can take part in. DreamHack Tours, the SVO Open, and DreamHack Montreal. Anybody from anywhere can compete for the 10K prize pool per tournament. And as an added bonus for local players, winning your home region's tournament will get you flown to the Contenders Cup to fight for a slot in the World Grand Prix. You can also secure a Contenders Cup slot by winning one of our Pan America or European Spring or Summer online tournaments. Some slots for the Contenders Cups will go to players with the most 2018 league points. We've got 4 slots for competitors in Pan America, 4 slots for Europe, and 2 for SVO. Didn't make the cut? No sweat. There's one more chance to qualify via our last chance wildcard tournaments that will take place in each region in September. Win one of those, and boom, you're in. You'll be gatecrashing the Contenders Cup with all the other contenders, where an almighty clash of wills shall decide the final players who get to take part in the World Grand Prix. So this year, we are giving even more people even more chances than ever to win cash, just for playing Shadowverse. Our 2018 Global Esports calendar now covers 120 countries. And if winning money and basking in esports glory all sounds a bit like too much effort, just sit back and relax. We'll be streaming Shadowverse Esports all year round on the official channel so you can watch the best players in the world slug it out week to week. It's never been a better time for competitive Shadowverse. What are you waiting for? Go check out ShadowverseOpen.com.